it's really hard to leave yourself, to leave your mind, Like, when life's not good, I mean, we have certain ways of escaping, right? We have books, TV, TikTok, video games, conversations with friends. But to a certain extent, like when you're doing poorly, when your mind's killing you, when it's like uncomfortable to live in your own skin, it's hard to escape that, right? Even in the conversation, even watching the movie, even playing the video game, there's little breaks where you come back to yourself, where you remember who you are, and maybe it's the stresses you've got going on in life, or the whatever terrible thing is happening to you, and it all just comes flooding back, and it can become really hard to just give me 5 seconds where I'm not myself, where my mind isn't pestering me to death. And then sleep, which for some reason sleep, it never really does it, You wake up and it feels like you just fell asleep. Like your mind was always there, like you never truly escaped, like you didn't actually have an 8-hour break from yourself, but rather just teleported to 8 hours later, and now here you are once again back in your shoes. And when life's good, it doesn't matter. You're yourself, you're good, you're going. But when life's bad, it just creates this contrumbling effect. Is that a word? Exponential disastrousness. I would never be so brazen. I would never be so brazen. What is English? I would never be so brazen as to say that I found the answer, but I have found the answer. The other day, I was very sleep deprived, and I was very tired. I'd been doing a lot. I was very tired, and it was 7 p.m. And I laid down. I was like, let me just lay down for a second, just recoup, right, and close my eyes for a second, and I just passed out. A 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. nap, which is one of the rarest things ever. I mean, that time slot from right around 5 p.m. to 9 p.m., that's like no nap territory. There's probably exceptions, but I think most of the population pretty much never sleeps. I mean, I guess some people actually go to sleep at like 8 or 9, but there's a period right before you actually go to sleep. It's going to change for different people. Where at least for me, it's a no sleep time. It's just practically impossible, no matter how tired I am. And yet sometimes it is possible. Very, very, very rarely. And I feel like they're always like this this like memorable experience, like this this happened to me a couple weeks ago. And the last time before it happened was like 2 years ago. And these are like memorable evenings in my life because this very rare thing happens. And, is it sad that the most memorable moments in the past 2 years have been 2 naps? Yes. But I mean, whatever. It's just life, right? But the thing about the evening nap is it's this complete reset. You're just completely and utterly transported to a different world, right? You wake up in this groggy state, you're like, who am I? What am I? Right? Because you've literally been a different person for the past 2 hours, right? You've gone into this very intense dream state where it feels like a thousand images are just flooding you, and you're doing all these things, and you don't quite know what. Like, you wake up and you don't have any exact memory of exactly what you were doing, but the vividness is so real, right? Thinking back to the most recent one a couple of weeks ago that I had, I don't remember what I was doing, but it's just this 2 hours of just vivid, just colors and shapes and worlds, and it really feels like for those 2 hours you are someone else. You do have a different life. It is the ultimate escape, the ultimate reset. At least that's the experience I've had with these very rare naps. So I was curious. I was like, what is it with this time slot? What is it with this? Why does it create these crazy dreams, this crazy state? this crazy reset. So apparently there's a few things going on. For one, right, your body has its natural, what are those called? Like the circadian rhythm cycles, right? Your body's accustomed to a certain, wake up at a certain time, sleep at a certain time, flood your body with melatonin at a certain time, flood your body with cortisol at a certain time, right? This is why when you travel to Europe or to Japan or to Africa, you get jet lag because your body's used to that, to those natural rhythms, that 24-hour cycle. And I guess in that period, right, hours before you're going to go to sleep, there's no part of your body that wants to sleep, right? Your body temperature is high, your body still hasn't released that melatonin that it's going to release once you really go to sleep. And there isn't that midday dip in energy, which happens around 1 to 3, a time period that's a lot more common for a nap to take place, if it's going to take place. Because it's a sort of natural period in the day where the energy levels go down. And so sleep isn't such a big jump. But I guess what happens in this time is that your body's not naturally losing its energy. There isn't that natural dip. But if you're very sleep deprived or you're just incredibly tired, there might be another side of you that's like, I really need to fall asleep. I really need a break. And so what can happen is you have two forces sort of working against each other. One part of your body that's like, we don't sleep here. This is awake time. Another part of your body that's like, I really need to sleep right now because I'm just exhausted. And so when those forces collide, you have these really active dreams because there's a part of you that's completely awake, and yet you're not awake. In any event, I don't think it's a flawless solution to the troubles of life, because it's that very rareness that makes it so vivid, so possible. If you were to start napping every single day at 6:30 p.m., your body would just naturally adjust to that. That would just become part of your circadian rhythm pattern thing cycle. And then you wouldn't get the crazy dreams because your body would be ready to sleep. It wouldn't be this conflict, this inner turmoil that causes this craziness. I guess what you could do is then constantly be napping at times at which your body doesn't expect it. Like a rotating, right? Like a constant Russian roulette. Keeping your circadian rhythm on its heels. I don't know. I mean, for me, it's just this fun thing that happens every 2 years, and I'm already counting down the days for the next one.